here on Just Maria D. It is indeed Maria D, and I'm back with another YouTube collaboration. So Michelle from over at Homeschooling in the Pines is hosting this collaboration, and the title of it is 5 tips for new homeschool parents. There will be a playlist down below, and so if you are looking for more wisdom on this topic, because you know Yoda here might just not have it all for you, then go and check out the other channels. I know that they will have some great advice for you as well. I'm going to probably refer to you all as home educators because that is the language that I use in the UK, so I apologize in advance for that. It's all the same thing, it just happens to be my preference. Tip number 1, think of home education as an extension of your parenting. This took me a long time to learn, and I think that it was really only when I started to have adult children that I understood this concept. Why do I think it's important? Because if you think of home educating as an extension of parenting, you start to feel like it's not such a big, insurmountable thing to do. Now, the reason why I say that is that when we start out with little ones, with babies, we do not have all the wisdom to know what to do with those children, and yet we manage to nurture them, we manage to feed them, we manage to teach them to walk and to talk, we teach them to eat with a spoon, we teach them to ride bikes. All of these skills are parenting skills, aren't they? They're not skills of nursery parents or home educating parents. They are just skills that we do as parents. And so I think that when we operate from that place that I am this child parent first and foremost, it puts the responsibility wholly and solely back onto us for our children holistically. It empowers us because we know that any challenge that we have faced before as parents, at any point, at any season, at any milestone, we have just gone and educated ourselves about how to do that. And home educating is no different. You are going to go and you are going to read all about it. You are going to read blogs, you're going to watch videos, you're going to talk to people like me in groups that you may go to, and you are going to glean information in exactly the same way when you're talking about breastfeeding or bottle feeding or cesarean sections, or whether to use cloth diapers or disposable diapers, or when to introduce solids. All of those things you went and found out about. Shift the focus from I am a home educator to I am a parent because it takes the pressure off, especially when you're having a bad day. And I mean that because you are more likely to say, how as a parent can I grow and change in this scenario? How can I best help my children? Than I should just put the kids in school. Home educating or homeschooling wears the pressure of our emotion and our feelings, when in actual fact we are just parents, and whether we put our children in school or not, we would still just be their parents, and some of those issues would still be there, and we would still have to tackle them, and we would still have to overcome them. So number 1, you are a parent first and foremost. Operate from that place. Number 2, stop looking at what everybody else is doing. I mean, comparison is the thief of joy. Absolutely. You have a family, you know the flavor of your family, you know what your family likes, you know your children, you know the kind of people they are, you know if there are special needs, you know your children. We autonomously home educate our last son. We haven't autonomously home educated all our children. We have a very autonomous child who has always done everything at his own pace, at his own time, and we have found that that is the best way to home educate him. It would be very easy for me to look around constantly at what everybody else is doing and feel intimidated or threatened or worried. Is he doing enough? And what I need to do really is just trust the journey that we are on with our child. We are not hands-off parents, we are hands-on parents. I need to do what's best for my child, and you need to do what's best for yours. Comparison is the thief of joy. Number 3, nothing is set in concrete. Your decision to home educate is not set in concrete. Your decision to send a child to school is not set in concrete. You are free to choose, and you are free to change, and that is just as true with the kinds of philosophies that you may use, the kinds of textbooks you might use, whether you decide to use a packaged curriculum, whether you decide like us to be autonomous, or you know, we might decide in the next little while to do something totally different because he has different needs. So do not think that whatever you choose today is what you have to sign up for life. It is okay to change your mind. It is okay if you send a child to school to pull it back out again. It is okay if you decide to home educate, that at some point, if the needs change for your child and your family, that you can change your mind on that. Okay, there are no rights and wrongs here. The world is not black and white, and your plans are not set in concrete. You are free to change and choose. Number 4, look after yourself. Okay? Burnout is real. One of the things that I did early on in my home educating life was lost myself. There was not a lot of time in my life for discovering who I was in terms of that kind of young adult phase. I went straight from school to uni to marriage, and I think that somewhere along the way I lost myself and I became a bit of a martyr mum. My whole life became about my children and their needs, and I didn't always look after myself. And that meant that there were really significant times in our home educating journey that I had real burnout, which wasn't great in terms of then being able to crack on and home educate in the most effective way for our family. You need to look after yourself. You need to make time for yourself, even if it's just little snippets of time where you go and have a cuppa in the garden, or you build in a rest time in your house for an hour of the afternoon where you read a book, or you have a bath. Look after yourself in ways that work for you. One of the things that I really need to get on top of this year is my exercise. I can feel that I'm getting stressed a lot, and so I need to build in some exercise into my life because I can feel that that's what I need. Stress is not good, so therefore I'm going to need to make some changes. So you need to look after yourself and you need to make time for yourself, and that may mean not going on Facebook or social media or the internet. It may just mean picking up a book, having a chat with a friend, sitting in the garden listening to birds if you're finding it difficult to get out and do things for yourself, joining a book group, whatever it is that floats your boat and makes you feel recharged, build into your life. Tips for new home educators, number 5 would be to not feel that you have to justify your decision to everyone you meet. This took me a long time to learn, and I wished that I had gotten this a lot sooner. It is not my job to educate the world on home education. If you are feeling you are in a place where you are disempowered in terms of the conversations that people are having with you, do penguins of Madagascar just smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. Say something polite and discontinue the conversation. It is not your job to argue with everybody you meet about home education. If you have family members or friends that you really care about and you want them to understand it better, send them an email full of links. Find some things that you think would set their mind at ease, have a generic one, and send it to people that are genuinely interested and say, this is where we're coming from. It isn't really up for negotiation. We'd love your support. We realise that if you can't support us, then perhaps the best way you can support us is to just let us get on with it. Just go with the flow. It's going to create too much stress, too much anxiety. It's going to affect your relationships. And you don't need approval. Okay, you don't need the approval of everybody around you to do this thing. You just need to know that it is the right thing for you and your family. It is okay to set some boundaries around that. And it is okay to find a really loving and kind way of saying, you know what, I love you, I respect you, I would love to have you along for this journey, and we would love even for you to find ways to help and support us, but this is not up for negotiation. This is something that we have decided to do for our kids. You know that we love them. You know that we want the best for them. This is not really about you. It is about us and about our children. I wish I had learned that lesson a lot earlier on. I'd have saved myself an awful lot of arguments and heartache with people. Here are the things that I have been thinking about lately in terms of what I wish I had done differently. Anyway, I have been Maria. You have been awesome. This has been another YouTube Collaborators collaboration. And thank you, Michelle, over at Homeschooling in the Pines. Thank you, other ladies and channels that are participating. And don't forget to check them out in the playlist down below in the description. If you'd like to see more of these videos, please let me know. If you haven't subscribed or hit the notification bell, please do that. And yeah, thanks for being a part of my journey. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.